Dawson's Rambles.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Just wanted to film a quick little discussion video about the team up for this year's Beast Morphers and like why we're not getting one for Ninja Steel. I mean, I don't have concrete answers. Like I'm not like, oh, here's Boz Kazamakas from Power Rangers to tell us. Kind of just more interesting thought discussion slash speculation. I can't even talk in this one. Should I have even filmed this? Probably not. I would have put something Ninja Steel related here with Ace, but I literally packed it all away because I didn't want it around here. I don't want it around these parts. I should have just kept one of the sticky stars in the background here. Anyway, I'm just talking about nonsense now. I thought it was interesting. I think this is one of the most interesting years for a team up. And this could all, who knows, maybe they'll surprise us and they'll do one and this video will be rendered null and void in the future. You never know. Because Power Rangers has been surprising us so much lately, you never know. But I think it's interesting because usually we have two types of team ups in PR. We have the annual, quote-unquote, regular team up. It used to be annual, not so much anymore, but you know, it was the team up between the current year team and last year's team. And then we'll have special events like Dimensions in Danger, Once a Ranger. Those rhymed. Oh, I didn't even know I rhymed those words. But this year we have the Triple Dino team up that seems to be happening based off of tons of evidence, which is based off of the Go Busters crossover film with Kyoryuger, because Kyoryuger was the third Dino-themed Sentai, so for their team up movie, like, hey, let's get these old and crusty dinos in here, instead of making this its own film, let's ruin the Go Busters team up movie. Still better. They did a triple crossover, so you have the Go Busters in there, but then they brought back some Ab Rangers, they brought back some G Rangers. They should have made it its own movie. Sorry, still bitter. They did that, so we have footage for that. And so we're in this weird place because, I mean, we used to be lockstep with Sentai, where the Sentai would finish airing and we would immediately get the adaptation. And then we fell behind a little bit. I mean, we're not really behind. It doesn't matter because Sentai doesn't have a continuous narrative and we're not following it anyway. So that really never bothered me. But I mean, we are behind the way we used to be lockstep because we do 2 years now. And then we started not going in order because we did Dino Charge right after Gokaiger footage. And then we skipped over Go Busters and now we're doing Go Busters after we did Kyoryuger and after we did Ninja. And so we're out of order, and we're free to skip things now. So we don't have footage for a Go Busters versus Ninja movie because it never existed. So that makes sense. So that's kind of a weird position to be in because usually they try to use the footage from this annual Sentai team up, and so even if they wanted to, they don't have footage for Ninja's crossover because Ninja didn't butt up against Go Busters, like not even close. So, but they do have the footage for this Triple Dino crossover. So that's probably the main reason they're doing it. And not to mention, we haven't had a regular team up in a long time. I think the last truly regular team up was actually SPD Dino Thunder, back when it was more traditional, like full-on teams coming in. But the last one, period, in terms of like a more normal setup, was Clash of the Red Rangers, and that was just one Ranger voiceover. So that, and after that, I mean, it's been really spotty, and it was really not a regular tradition anymore anyway. But it's still interesting to have, you know, the idea of a last year's team up scooted aside for this weird one where you're teaming up with the team before it, and then doing this Triple Dino team up within the Beast Morphers season. So there's no way they're not going to be using some footage from the movie because that's probably their primary drive. I mean, honestly, I'm willing to bet that when they sat down and were trying to figure out what they wanted to do, like part of the reason, amongst the other reasons we've been told of why they decided on Go Busters, was that they had this and they knew they could bank on doing an event like, oh, we can do this team up because A, we have the footage, and B, MMPR nostalgia, we have MMPR footage, we can bring back so-and-so, like supposedly ASJ's coming back. So I think it's an interesting spot. So we're not going to be getting a traditional Ninja Steel one, which isn't necessarily a surprise because we, like I said, we haven't really been doing it, but it's interesting that in its place we have this almost anniversary event level crossover, but there's really no anniversary to celebrate. To be fair though, Ryder and Sentai have been celebrating their anniversaries since forever. Like after Decade, they're like, let's just keep celebrating, even if there's nothing to celebrate, and just run crossovers into the ground. So I don't think we're gonna do that with PR, but it's just kind of a weird spot, and I thought it was worth noting. Like, what do you guys think? Would you rather see a Ninja Storm? Yeah, I'd rather see Ninja Storm. Would you rather see a Ninja Steel team up? Would you like to see both? I mean, I'm definitely full-on hypocrite when it comes to this, where I really don't care about getting a Ninja Steel crossover. I mean, on one hand, it would be kind of nice to see them in Beast Morphers and they have a little bit more competent writing for an episode or two. But honestly, it doesn't really bother me that we're not getting it, or the idea that somehow this Dino crossover is replacing it doesn't bother me at all. But it's kind of hypocritical because I'm still forever bitter about the Go Busters team-up being taken away by the Dino team-up. It should have been its own movie. Still bitter. You know, but then with Ninja Steel, they're so pushed out, they're not even in it. Like, they're not even going to be mentioned. But I don't care about that, so that's kind of hypocritical from that standpoint. But I think that's kind of an interesting situation, the way both of the teams from the previous year that quote-unquote should have gotten a team-up are being kind of pushed out for this like event. I think it would be kind of neat if they had some sort of Ninja Steel cameo. Like, did the announcer dude, Hip Hop Anonymous, I don't remember what his name was, did he get killed? Probably, but they could bring him back. Maybe like narrating or something, like kind of like they're doing the Q-Ranger versus Lupat movie, and they're having like Jewel of the Worlds in it. Like, it would be kind of cool to get like one cameo. Mick would be perfect. That's all I want. I don't care about anybody else. Sorry, Ace. I don't care about anybody else except you, Ace. Mick, that would be a cool cameo, I think, to get for sort of a nod to a Ninja Steel team-up. So I think that would be pretty cool. But yeah, what do you guys think? Are you upset we're not going to get a traditional team-up? Do you want to see them become a thing after this? Like maybe whatever series we get after Beast Morphers, do you want to see us get back to that tradition? Because even in Sentai, we've kind of lapsed on that tradition now. We did not get Zyuohger versus Q-Ranger. And you know, I really didn't care too much because I'm not huge on Zyuohger, but for fans, I could totally see why they're upset because I'm still upset about the Go Busters thing. It should have been its own movie! Sorry. Still better. Yeah, so what do you guys think? I think that I don't really care so much about Ninja Steel coming back, but starting in the new Hasbro era, if we do things semi-traditionally, I would like to see that come back in some form, because I do miss the annual PR team-ups. But anyway, that's about it for this one. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps, and ring that bell to notifications for all my Power Rangers news and toy reviews. Till next time, Dawson Rider, signing out. I might have already said that, so I like signed out twice. Just a third time, signing out. And it should have been its own movie!